You start.
All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, family. Welcome, welcome. So excited to be here with y'all this morning. Good morning. All right, I see. Welcome, Robin. Welcome, Desiree. We are so excited to get started. Welcome to Facebook family. So excited to have y'all all drop into the space. And Catherine and Mbali Green Johnson. And this is like my fourth or fifth time presenting for Wake Up Everybody. And I'm really just getting warmed up. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Good morning. Hey, Ariane. Good morning. Good to see you. So excited to see you guys. All right. We're going to have a really great conversation. Hopefully y'all watch the movie, the docu-series, so we can have a really great conversation. And all right, good morning, Lori. How are you? Again, good morning, Facebook family. We're going to have a really great morning today. We're going to talk about how our ancestors speak to us through food, how food as a tradition we need to keep alive, and just really bounce off ideas and co-create together in this space. So hold on to your seats. We're going to have a really great conversation this morning. So come on in, invite others to come into the space so that we can continue to chat it up. Let's see who else is in the space. Hey, Brandon, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I see Veronica. Hi, Z, good morning. All right, again, Facebook family, we're so excited for y'all to come on in as well, whether you're traveling in for work and you decided to drop into the space to share some time with us, we appreciate it. Hey, sweetness. Hey, Veronica, how are you? Awesome. And Zahura, beautiful name. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the Facebook. I'm sorry, welcome to the Zoom space. Again, Facebook family, we're so excited for y'all to be a part of this as well. All right.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
All right. Wake up, everybody. I love that song. Gets you so hyped in the morning. And this Woo Nation is building out so beautifully. I thank you for the gift of just being able to present in this space. I thank you for the gift of being a community with you guys, and to having these dope, powerful conversations so we can continue to elevate. And again, my name is Catherine Mbali Green Johnson, and yeah, like I said before, it's like my fourth session. I got to get it straight. I think it's my fourth session presenting for Wake Up, and it's just been so powerful. I learned so much from you guys. But today we're going to take a minute to just, just chop up this important film that came out. It was inspired by the book written by Dr. Jessica B. Harris, who you've seen in the film, in the docuseries High on the Hog, that premiered on Netflix in May of this year. And ever since then, I think I've watched it maybe about 3 times now. And every time I listen and watch, I learn something different. And I wanted to just share that with y'all, who better to really chop it up with in the Wake Up community. So let's get into it. I am just going to talk a little bit more about High on the Hog. So if you have not seen it, please make sure that you take a minute to watch it. It is easily accessible if you do not have Netflix. Like I said, before, borrow somebody's, whatever you got to do, but it's so important to watch this and make connections, even if you're not, of the African diaspora. All folks of color, all folks in non-melanated and non-melanated should really participate and watch this, to see how we have survived, to see how we have thrived through food, through food traditions, culinary traditions over the course from before the transatlantic slave trade and after, how we've endured. So again, please watch this important film. All right, so we are going to move into our first question for you all to get y'all warmed up. And I just want to ask, before we go into our first episode, what food brings ancestral memory up for you all? And we're going to talk about a high vibrational energy that it brings up, and we're going to talk about a low vibrational energy that it may bring up for you. And for me, just by example, wow. I recently just visited Charleston, South Carolina, where my dad hails from. And I recently discovered 4 generations of my family that trace back to Strawberry, South Carolina, which was at that time Strawberry Plantation, which was 900 acres of a plantation that they, they nurtured over the course of their lives. And so my dad transitioned last year, in April, and I just didn't know anything about his maternal side of the family, maternal nor paternal, actually. He just didn't share. He didn't share because of due to pain and just due to just circumstance. So he didn't share much. So I've been on my own ancestral journey. And so for my birthday last year, last year, a couple weeks ago, I actually went down there after doing research on ancestry.com and African ancestry. I went down to go visit the spaces and places that my father lived in and dwelled, and also went to Strawberry, to the plantation, and just put my feet on the land so that I can feel and hear. And so one of the things that happened, I tried, and don't judge me, I tried gumbo for the first time, or a version of gumbo in Charleston for the first time. And as soon as I got the plate and I put the fork to my mouth, I'm like, this is gumbo? I'm like, my father made this all the time. Like, I'm like, it just, I can remember him. I could smell him. I remember conversations at the table. It just, all of this stuff just started coming up with one bite. And in Charleston, a little different than New Orleans, they use like a tomato base, like stewed tomatoes, and, I don't eat meat, but like, seafood gumbo was a very tomatoey base. And he would really just make that like a quick dinner for us. So it just really brought up so much for me. So that's a high vibration that it brought for me. I know sometimes we have low vibrational things that we think about when food is shared, like a last meal that maybe that we've had with someone that we love, or anything that we bring up. So I am going to ask the admin to help me out if anyone's hands are raised that would like to share an ancestral memory that comes to them that is a high and a low vibration. So admin, is there anyone out there in the space or anything in the chat that we
Yes.
can point to?
No hands raised yet, but in the chat, Shawnee says black eyed peas and rice. Sweetness says yams, and Zakia says American, my grandmother's coleslaw and fruitcake, Bermudian, my dad's codfish and potatoes.
Mm.
And Abimbola says flying fish and cuckoo. And Sweetness says, I honor the legacy of your father this morning, thanking him for doing the best he could while he was on this planet. May his spirit extend now to us as we learn what we need to learn. I didn't type it, but I'm just totally always remembering my grandmother's coconut bread, fish cakes, and coconut turnovers, drops, and all desserts.
Yes. Beautiful. I also see a French bread and baked beans. This is good stuff, y'all. Is there anyone that would like to come off of mute and talk a little bit about that memory and what it brings up for them? If not, I'm gonna pick somebody. Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
okay, we have somebody. Hold on. All right, you can start your video and then I can spotlight you.
Okay, let me see. Oh no, I'm a hot mess. Wait.
Oh wait, who was that that's speaking? I'm sorry. Before I didn't see you because you didn't have your hand raised. I actually have. This is Quasi.
Okay, no
Oh,
problem.
yes, y'all, it's Quasi.
So I'll come back to you, but raise your hand so I can find you. Whoever was just speaking.
That was
I just recently had Thanksgiving at my paternal grandmother's house. She's passed away a few years ago, but we got to still be in her house for Thanksgiving, and there's a big like portrait of her on the wall in the dining room. And my brother, he was saying, he never really spent any time in the adult room. We always went to the kids' table. You know what I'm saying? So here we are, like it was our turn to be at the adult table, and my mother cooked, and usually it was my grandfather who cooked for those events, and he's my dad's stepdad. So in my time, he was my grandfather and he cooked there. But I'm sure in my dad's time when he was a child, it was his mother who cooked, and now it was my mother that cooked. And just to be able to still own the location in which so many memories were facilitated, I think is a beautiful thing, because then we can still keep generating the right energy in that same location.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for that share. Thank you. Man, yeah, just like that. Well, I love that being at the kids' table. We we had a whole separate space as well, never I got to get to the big people's room, so that really resonated with me as well. I'm sure with others. Thank you so much for that share. It was warm. And if you can drop your grandmother's name in the space in the chat, that would be great, so we can also, remember her. Thank you. All right. And the next share.
You're muted.
I see that. Okay. Good morning, family. Okay, so I have a beautiful memory for me of being in the kitchen with my grandmother, who's no longer with us, and her teaching me how to make yuca porn. And I just have this memory of her taking out this coconut and taking the hammer and breaking the coconut and taking the grater and grating the coconut so fast. She was doing it so fast. And the coconut was small, little bit, just like it was so teeny. And she was still grating it, and her hand was moving so fast. And I said, can I try? I want to try, Grandma. And she gave me a bigger piece of coconut and I graded it for maybe like about 4 seconds before she took it away from me and was like, oh God, you're going to hurt yourself. Lord, no, come out the kitchen. So yeah, that was her thing. Making desserts, she would make a lot of different things. And also when she would cook her rice and peas with pigtail, she put the pigtail inside the rice and peas. And when I would go up to her with my plate, because you'd have to come, you could not dig in her pots. You'd have to come to her, and then she would take her big spoon and she would dip into the pot, and she would take 1 scoop of the rice and put it in your plate, and then she would look at you and say, that's sufficient? And I would say, a little bit more. And she'd go back in and she puts a little bit more, and then she say, you want some pigtail? And I said, yeah. And then she'll take the pigtail out and she'll hide it and say, don't tell nobody. Because I don't know, maybe she only had 1 pigtail in there. Maybe she had 100 and she was giving everybody 1 and telling them, don't tell nobody. I don't know. But yeah, that's what this whole space brought up for me. So thank you for the opportunity to be with my grandmother.
That was really yummy and warm. Oh man, this idea of you being special enough to get that 1, right? That's really sweet, really thoughtful. And can you also put her name in the chat as well? And all of you, if you put, you know, we didn't do an official libation, but we'd like to bring them into the space. So please put your loved ones, your ancestors' names in the chat so we can be with them, so they can be with us this morning and we can be with them in this conversation, since we are bringing up bringing them into conversation. And I'll take one more share just to get us warmed up, and then we'll go into the first video.
All right, I think we all warmed up. You got people on fire over here. I do want to read from Kaisha from Facebook, and then I'll have Veronica share. So Kaisha says, 1 high vibrational food is pan bread that my maternal grandmother made for us. 1 low vibration is for her cookies. I did not like her cookies, but my mother and aunt did. They are sad they did not learn to bake them before she died, so they will never get that taste again.
Thank you, Kaisha, and bringing in the low vibration as well. And before we go to a share, I definitely have low vibration. My grandmother, I remember her in the kitchen cooking. She would make ice cream. She would make ice cream from scratch. She made amazing ice cream, and you do a whole big tub, and she would get the ice and put it in, and you know, churn it. But the low vibration for me is that it wasn't passed on. Like none of us learned, none of us watched her long enough to pass that tradition on. So it's sort of lost. My aunt and I were just speaking about it when I visited her on this journey. Like none of us know how to do it. You know, unfortunately, during that time, it was, you know, the crack era. We were all, you know, growing up and just chaos around us. She was in Brooklyn. We lived in she lived in Bed-Stuy at that time, and her block was just overrun by drugs, and so my family just torn apart. So that brings up low vibrational for me. Just remembering grandma making ice cream in the midst of all of that. So it could be a high vibration too, that she was still able to give us treats in the midst of all of this craziness happening around us. And so we can go to the next share.
Hi, good morning. My high vibrational food is black cake. My grandmother used to make black cake at this season. So she would start putting her fruit in the rum and the wine, and she would cut up all the fruit. And she didn't have all of the things that you needed. Like we have food processors today. And so she would sit there and painstakingly cut up the fruit and set the fruit. And then she would beat the cake mix. And it's just a wonderful feeling to remember her doing all that she did. Way into her 90s, she was doing it. And the other high vibrational food is pepper sauce. And my grandmother made the best hot sauce. the same way she would make a black cake is she would just painstakingly make it. But what's my biggest memory of her is that before she passed away, she asked me for a blender and I sent it to Trinidad and she made me a gallon of pepper sauce. And she passed away like about a week after she made the pepper sauce. And I made that pepper sauce last about 10 years. And it was wonderful. And those are the things that I remember about her, just taking her time, using her hands. It's just a blessing to see an elderly person put their hand into the food in a loving, because they're putting their energy and their love into everything they cook, which makes it so delicious. And her name was Eleanor Ramasa. She was in Canupia, Trinidad. And I lift her up. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that share. Wow. Yeah, we are definitely warmed up. That sounds amazing. And to have something last that long. My goodness, that really warmed me. Thank you, Veronica. All right. We are going to go into our first video, everyone, but please keep dropping names in the chat, keep igniting the chat as much as you can. Put everyone's name in there so they can sit with us, eat with us, dine with us, cuisine with us. And although we're having just, not a literal conversation, dinner, but we're having dinner right now. Food is nourishment. All right, so I am going to share our first slide here and bear with me. All righty. Can y'all see my screen? See?
Yes.
All right. And let me know if you can hear it as well.
Partners.
Yeah, you know.
Because now you know this is your home. You can't say it again.
Sorry. All right. So that was one of the scenes, and hopefully I did not ruin it or spoil the scene for anyone. Hopefully y'all watched it and you've able to, oops, let me move this around. Y'all are able to get a great idea of what that scene was all about. I know the sound was a little low. We, was able to at least get the video captured. So yes, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that scene when he talks about the gentleman, the artist. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he says, no, don't say that you're not from here anymore. We're all from here, right? He's saying to Stephen, we're all from here. We're all connected. Please make sure that we remember that we're all families, because your family was sent there, but you're back now. We're connected. And then Dr. Jessica Harris says, through food, we realize our connection. What do y'all think about that statement? Let's talk about it. If anyone wants to raise their hand, or if there are any comments in the chat that we can point to, admin. And Shawnee, I'd love to hear your feedback on that scene as well. I think it's so important, especially with the work that you're doing, the Spirit of a Woman, just that connective tissue. All across the country, all across the world, where Black women are experiencing different, maternal mortality rates are going off through the roof. Like, just that connected thread, what does that mean, and how it relates to that scene?
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember now when I went in 2019, and what's so deep about it, I had not made the connection that I went to Ghana with my son Najaya a few months before my daughter transitioned. I never made the connection. Now I recognize the power of touching home in that way, and it being a preparatory process for a major loss. But we visited the door of no return, and we were in the dungeons, and just what I'm very present to is starting from that space. Our wombs felt the devastation and the decimation, having to bleed in those dungeons, all women, probably after a while being in there for extended periods in the dark, feeling the churnings in your body and your cycle coming through, other women bleeding around you, the mixture of heat and blood and fear, like all of that combined, it started the process of womb scars and womb trauma from there. And some women who were pregnant, they were raping the women. So, I'm sure pregnancies occurred during that time in those spaces before they took the rigorous journey across the seas to the ports where they dropped the women and the men and the children off and the babies, and who didn't make it. So miscarriages, dying while giving birth, like it started there when they violated in that huge way. And so I'm always talking about the storytelling, the ritual being a healing of back, like Sankofa in It's All. So going back, remembering, recapturing, taking back those memories, healing in the moment by talking about it and transforming our relationship with it and just speaking the truth and then healing forward. So you just gave me something in that regard that, inside of my advocacy, activism work, Spirit of a Woman, just as an organization, Be the Tree as a entity that does this transformative work with women intergenerationally, that I can build some of those pieces in to acknowledge those women and those experiences. And in fact, there's an event coming up on December 19th, 18th and 19th called Aftershock. And we are still experiencing the impact of the quake of the enslavement of our people, and all the aftershocks are still impacting us in this moment. So thank you, Catherine, for this work and your share, because it just opened me up in a major way.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being a vessel and, all of the traditions and connections that keep us all, floating and just really paying attention to spirit. And I've found myself in that space. I've really found myself in that space in the past couple years, is really trusting spirit to lead and guide. And it has benefited me in so many ways. So high vibrationally, of course, but even low vibrationally, because it's all information, right? I love how we are talking, Be the Tree and Spirit of a Woman, that there is no negative or positive, that there's only high and low vibration. Is all information for our greater good. And so I love this conversation. Are there any other shares around that scene that I just posted?
I had seen that Suhura had her hand up. I mean, she didn't have her hand up. She came off of mute. So I'm wondering if that was a move to speak. Nobody else's hand is up right now. And let me see what's happening in the chat. Okay. Suhura didn't respond.
Yeah, wanted to speak. I can always remember my grandmother. She used to make tea cakes, and it was to pass it on from her to my father to me and my siblings. And I love tea cakes today. It's just a connection to her. And when I see tea cakes like the scones and stuff we just had for the holiday, I was just eating them, and I'm just thinking about my grandma. She's deceased now, but she taught my father how to cook. I think my mother, my high vibrational food was my mother. She made fried pies, fruit pies, and she got so good at it. Everybody wanted some, and make them for the community. They would make orders and stuff, and she got into cooking. But my mom, her low vibration was that she couldn't use salt when she cooked, and she would always say, "Put your own salt in it." It was bland and stuff. That kind of stuck with me about it. And so when I cook, I try not to be, um, you know, thinking about a lot of seasons and stuff. Like because of my reflux and stuff. So yeah, just thinking about it, they deceased my father. He used to make fried corn, corn on.
Mm,
It was so good. And
wow.
that was good. So that brought me around to a good memory of
Mm,
my father and mother and my grandmother.
thank you. I'm sorry. Zora, were you complete?
Yes, and I'm complete.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I can relate because I do the same thing. I don't put a lot of salt in my food. So my husband and the kids are like, I'm like, put your own salt. I got like very ill at a young age with salt. And so I'm like, ah. So I add my own and they'll have to add their own. So I understand the feeling. And they'll probably be bringing up that same memory when I'm going to. My mama never put salt on the food. So thank you for that. So wow, this is great, guys. I'm going to ask we're going to actually go into breakout rooms. So I see a couple hands raised, and I'm just going to ask that you hold on. We're going to share inside of the breakout rooms. And so our first activity that we'll do there, and I will actually have you all decide who will share out when we come back from breakout rooms. We'll be in there for a total of 5 minutes. And we're going to complete this sentence. You're going to co-create a sentence together. And you're going to create a statement. This is the prompt. As I eat this blank, I remember blank. And so it can be metaphorical, of course. It can be, just something that you all co-create together, because what we are going to do is create a gumbo of sorts. So in Be the Tree, we do a really great, and other groups as well, we co-create poems. And so this gumbo poem that we're going to put together will be a co-created from all of you this morning. So, those of you kind of sleepy, we're going to work together. So wake on up. We're going to go into breakout rooms and share and co-create a statement. And at the end of this, we'll have a full-on poem that we've created together. So admin, if we are ready. So again, when you go into a breakout room, just select someone who will share out when we come back into the live space. And yeah, I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay. So I have us with a few others in the main space, and there's 5 or 6 people in the room. I'm setting up the rooms for how many minutes?
Oh, it's 5.
Catherine, just for clarity, when because this is a quick sentence to complete, so you want there to be conversation about
Yes, thank
elaboration?
you.
Okay. Mhm.
Thank you, Coach. So yes, when you go into the rooms, definitely share with one another, share what's coming up and through you. All of the folks, all of our ancestors that we invited into the space, use their energy to help inspire your co-created statement. But have conversation, have dialogue. Make sure, if you had a share that was burning in your heart and you didn't get to share, when I ask question, share with one another when we come back together. Whoever you guys designated in your breakout room will share out your co-created statement and anything else that came up and through your group. So we'll be doing this exercise a couple times. So get familiar with one another. And yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, I'm sending everybody in. You will go in automatically and you will come out automatic. Enjoy.
All righty, so we're in the main space. We need to share.
Hey, hey, Cassie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Laura. Good morning. And brother, I didn't. Can you say your name again?
Oh, it's Quasi. Let me change my thing. My bad. It's just
I
automatic.
know that's all good. All good. Thank you. All right. So as I eat this blank, I remember blank. So let's talk about it. Laura, would you like to share something that brings up memory for you?
Yes.
Sure.
Whenever I eat, whenever I drink hot chocolate, or what I used to eat before, I don't eat it anymore, but anything with flour, baked, fried, we call it fried dumplings. It reminds me of my childhood when I used to fetch water for this gentleman. He would give us treats with this fried dumpling and cola nut tea. And it just never leave my memory until today. So that does bring memories back to me.
Wow. And what is that? What memory does it bring? Like, it sounds warm, it sounds soothing, but
Yes.
what do you
Okay.
feel?
It was memory of, I would say, kindness, joy, because he was being, it was what we call generosity and reciprocity. We would fetch him water, we hide to do it because we couldn't let our caregivers know that I was doing that. But I wanted the street so badly that I would really hide to bring him the water, because I did love the what we call fried dumplings as a child. So it brings back some joy to me and memories of kindness.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. So joy, you said reciprocity as well. That was really beautiful. Thank you for that. And cola nut tea, I've never had that. Wow. Okay. Is it sweet? Like how? Because cola nut's kind of bitter.
Yes.
But you're on mute, Laura.
It's a nut that they grate. I don't know if you in Africa, if you've been, you see men chewing it. It's red or orange. So we grate it when it's green, dry it. And most homes in Jamaica keeps it because they say it purges the system. It's good for poisoning and for the immune system. So we call it busy tea. You might hear the name busy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes. Wow. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. And let's see, Quasi, you did share earlier, but anything specific when you eat blank, you remember?
Yeah, this is my maternal grandmother's side. When I eat rice dressing, I remember her. And recently it's had, like you're saying earlier about the high vibe and the low vibe, it's had both recently, because I used to eat it and remember it fondly, and I know how much my mom enjoys cooking it now, and in memory of her. But recently we have like this, she did a cook thing for a college or something, and basically she talks about where she got the recipe from, and she got the recipe from her late mother-in-law. So my grandmother got it from her mother-in-law, and that brings a low feeling for me, because her husband, which is the stepfather of my mom and her sisters, was like a harm doer in our family. And it's one of those things where you can't really even open certain photo albums, because like that person is so prevalent, in the pictures and in the memory. So I haven't had it since I made that connection. So I don't know how I feel about it anymore, because kind of messed it up for me in a lot of ways. So the digestion, like mentally, and then also the food with it. But when I ate it, that's what I think of her. That's what I remember.
Thank you for that. Wow. Ooh, yeah, definitely. That's that low vibration, like I shared earlier. Just I whenever I have any kind of homemade ice cream, I just remember chaos, of being in the midst of just madness during the cracker and seeing family members turn into, yeah. So I totally relate. Thank you. Well, we have some more folks, so let's try to, how many more minutes do we have in the space?
The rooms are closed.
Oh no, that was 5 minutes? Okay, so Coach, you're fast and quick. Can you help me come up with a co-graded statement? Oh, yikes. Oh, we all closed, we're all back in the main space?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So, it's all good. We will definitely, we're going to go around to all of the rooms and come up with our space. That wasn't enough time for us. I don't know about how the other groups went, but we will move around. So, Kenyofu, is there anyone from room 1 or were we room 1 that we can call on?
All right. So we were in the main space, but room 1 was Mama Amal, Evelyn, Sabrina, Stacy, and Zakia. Zakia raised her hand, so you're on.
So yeah.
So we came up with, we each gave our own, and then we decided to go with, as we eat comfort foods, we remember our ancestors.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. And can you share out some of the yumminess that came out of your conversations as well?
Yeah, comfort food was from, I apologize, I don't remember the name. Mama Amal.
Sabrina?
Sabrina, thank you. Mama Amal was
Rutabaga.
Yes, rutabaga.
Rutabaga.
I have to try that now. I've never had rutabaga in my life, so that's a new thing I gotta now try. Trying to remember. Mine was like when I eat codfish and potato, I remember my dad. There was one more because there were 5 of us, but one didn't.
Evelyn, she named everything.
She had a lot of things.
Everything my grandmother made was very, very good. But when I eat baked bread, that makes me think of my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, fun. Thank you. And I love rutabaga. So okay, I got you. Thank you so much for that, Z. And room 2, who was in that room?
Ariane, Brandon, iPhone 927, and Louise.
Awesome.
Good morning. We in our group, we started talking about food so much, we didn't quite get to finish. So yeah, we didn't quite get to finish. So I'll kind of go through the things that we did say, and I can kind of make a general statement because they all pretty much led back to the same thing. One person talked about when they cook and make fried chicken, particularly their mom's fried chicken. It reminded her of her mom. Another person said when they make and cook fish cakes, it reminded them of their childhood and their grandmother's brownstone. Another person was when I believe it's pepper pot, was it reminded them of their grandmother cooking up a storm. For me, it was whenever I ate, in general, my grandmother would always make it a point to remember the creator and acknowledge the creator. And so if I could make a statement, as I eat, I remember.
I say thank you.
And I am complete.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. All right. And third room.
All right, it's Fatima, Inez, Jasmine, Veronica, and a few people left. So who's representing for that room?
Represent. Jasmine, Inez, Athena, myself. The overriding one was the cookies because we didn't have time to make the poem, but the tea cookies for Jasmine and Athena, I think am I right, ladies? And it reminded them of their grandmother. And my memory was highly seasoned fried fish that was fried really crisp. And it reminded me not only of my grandmother, but of Senegal, having been in Senegal in a little village, and Barbados and Trinidad. And it seems like overridingly all through our culture, we like fried fish. Most of us do. Thank you.
Let's say, I know I love fried fish. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. And I think we are the final room, correct?
Nope, there's 2 more rooms, 3 more rooms.
Okay.
So there's Abimbola, Sweetness, Kevin, Lori, Robin, and Teresa. And Lori wrote in the chat. Is that chat representing your room, Lori?
No, that wasn't representing my room. This conversation is just making me hungry and feeling like I should do some of those things.
Got it. Okay. So who's representing your room?
Hi, this is Teresa. Okay, who was that? Lori? Okay, Lori, you go ahead and speak, Lori.
No, Teresa, go ahead.
Well, you can help me. One of the things that was so interesting in our group was that Joseph said he used to get bay leaves for everyone, and they had it as a tea, which I've never even heard of. I had heard of bay leaves and with Italian food, but they actually drink bay leaves. And Miss Sweetness, I forgot what Miss Sweetness says. Miss Lori, she said as she eat figs, it reminded her, of her home. I said figs in church because my grandmother had a fig tree and a cherry and a cherry. Miss Abimbola, what did you say? I forgot.
Ice cream. She said ice cream.
Yes, she said as she eat ice cream. And I forgot what Miss Sweetness said. What was the other one?
I don't think I heard Sweetness. I think we ran out of time.
No, she said something. She said as she eat cantaloupe. So I would say as we eat this food, we think of home. The homes that we had when we grew up, and I'm complete.
Thank you.
This is making me hungry, all right. That old food from years ago.
Absolutely. I'm thinking fried fish and grits after this is over. But thank y'all so much. I am going to actually, because of time, Kenyafu, if we could have the other 2 groups drop in the chat so that we can move into the next video. And I know folks are going to have to go soon. And we'll come back around. So just hold on because you'll be going into the same rooms. So hold on. And let's see, I'm going to share my screen so we can have the next conversation. And again, just forgive if it's a little low, my apologies, and it's the way it was recorded. All right. All right. So that scene, absolutely powerful. It definitely goes on. Again, if you have not seen it, please watch, take the time to sit down, don't be distracted, really get into it. So what did you hear? What did you feel? And what memories come up for you when in terms of resistance? And before we go into that question, I want to take a minute to thank all of you who have to go. I know it is now 7:56, and I know some of you have to go to work. And we really appreciate and are gracious, and I'm so in gratitude for you to be a part of this conversation and to make this meal with us, to sit at this virtual table and have this conversation around High in the Hog. So thank you, thank you, thank you if you had to leave. And those of you who are staying, we're going to continue in this dialogue and talk about this notion of resistance through food, right? What does that mean for us? You know, we talk about it so much as food nourishing us, sustaining us, but as Brother Kwasi said, you know, bringing up low vibrational energies as well. You know, how do we negotiate that space? How do we negotiate what food can mean as a resistance? What do we do with those energies? So let's talk about it. If there's anything in the chat that you've seen, Camille Fu, or if there's any hands raised that folks want to share about what came up for them in that scene. And I also, just while you're looking through, I'll also share, it is a very, like Coach Shawnee said earlier, visiting Ghana, you know, I've also been at Senegal twice now and visited the House of the Dungeons, and having to eat after, right? It's like, you just not even enjoying the meal because you're conflicted, right? Spirit is conflicted. You're just experiencing that spiritual energy and having to also then sit down and enjoy a meal. You know, what is that like? But also being appreciative that we're here because they made it, right? Because they did. Yeah, it's a very, yeah, it's a conflict. It's an internal conflict that you negotiate with when you visit these spaces, but also at our everyday walks, right? We've seen atrocities on our screen. We've seen our brothers and sisters shot down. I mean, all of these things, and then we sit down and have meals and talk about it. Like, what does that feel like? And yeah, so let's talk about that scene. What came up for you? What did you hear? Yeah. So can you, for anyone?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people in the kitchen right now, but Zakia has written, when I was blessed to go to Gori, the fish tasted like a precious memory. A brother shared some history, especially about the baobab tree, and the fruit from the tree, I believe, is called monkey bread. I remember it struck me because one of my uncle's specialties was monkey bread, an actual bread that you tore pieces from.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And Coach Shawnee, were you going to share? I saw you.
Yeah, actually, what I'm very present to was the level of intimacy between the brother and the mama in that scene, and how there was a lack of intimacy, even at the dinner table for my family. Like when we would do Sunday dinners, I don't recall deep, rich conversations. I don't recall being taught about our family, like talking about the things that were most valuable and important to us. But it just struck me in my heart, like how they were looking at each other, the pause, you know, just the need to impart our family history is so important. I'm also conscious of the fact that I am not aligned with food, with the kitchen. I don't make meals in that way. Even when I did cook, we would eat separately in the house. It's just not something that that I'm connected to at all. Even though I grew up in a family, my grandparents were phenomenal cooks. My grandfather, my grandmother could throw down equally. And so when I did my share about the sentence, I talked about pecans. And even though, you know, he would roast peanuts, he would make peanut brittle pecan pie, all of that. But my grandfather didn't talk about his family, his history, his pains. He just didn't. But I can see his big white teeth chewing the pecans and him laughing. And, you know, so we had moments like that. We went fishing together and we would clean the fish, fry the fish, all of those moments, and I cherish them. But I wish that there was more conversation about their experiences over food where we were most likely to be gathered. And the other thing that I will say is I invite the community to engage in resistance in the form of not eating foods that don't serve our bodies because of how being enslaved impacted us because we were eating bad food. Like it's going to take several generations before we transform the tendency for us to have diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. That's not all on us. Like what we were fed, or African Americans, what we were fed deeply damaged our bodies, and it's going to take several rotations to clear that up. So us eating differently is a form of revolution, is a form of rebellion, and I'm complete.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And Kenneth, you have your hand raised.
Do. All right, try to add my spotlight. Yeah, I'm remembering my grandmother when she did the tables, like for special meals. And I remember this early on, not so much later on. But there she would create a plate for the person that wasn't, the person that's missing, the person that passed on. And I just knew that there was a place at the table that I couldn't sit. And I didn't understand what that was. But when I went to, when I got older and got into African culture, then we learned to put a plate aside for the ancestors. And that is something that I do, like, that's now part of my experience. So it's interesting to know that to remember my grandmother had that understanding, and I don't know where it came from. The other thing is, I don't know if you're going to show this clip, but there was a conversation about how we were given the pieces of the hog that we didn't want, that the master didn't want. And so in the community, natural health community, there's that, oh my gosh, that's bad because that's the, why eat the foot and, and the tail, like those are the rejected pieces. But what's also mentioned was that in Africa, we killed the animal, we ate all parts of the animal. And I didn't make that connection until I heard that in the film. I'm complete.
That's right. That's right. That's right. As a means of not just survival, but that's tradition, right? And I love what they said in that scene. I'm not sharing it, but they also said in that scene that we took those parts and then they wanted it, right? It became this delicacy, because we made it fly like we always do, right? We put our foot in it, we created it, it was yummy. That was meant to, destroy us. We turned it into, something that people sought after, which is a beautiful tradition in the African diasporic communities all over the globe. From Amsterdam with this Surinamese culture that exists there due to the transatlantic slave trade, to Jamaica, Trinidad, here in the US, they gave us what we were left with the scraps, but we made them into delicacies, right? Not all that healthy for us, and we have to, like Coach Shani said, to revolutionize that, right? Get those out of our system and create other traditions that are more healthy for us. But my goodness, just the way that we were able to spin gold, out of nothing, I think is a really revolutionary part of our beingness as Africans on this planet. So thank you for those shares. All right. It is now 8:06, and I want to at least get to one more prompt for our gumbo poem. And so we're going to go back into breakout rooms, and I will show you the last question prompt that you will go into the rooms with. 1 second. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna do this one instead, since we don't have a lot of time. So I'm gonna go into talking about freedom, right? And what freedom tastes like. We are going to go into our rooms and we're going to co-create this sentence with one another. What does freedom taste like? What does it look like? What does it smell like for us? What foods remind us of freedom? And so before we go in to the breakout rooms, Coach Kenyafu, I'm going to get you all again warmed up and inspired by a sister that I met in Savannah, Mama Pat. If you ever get a chance to go, actually, she's no longer doing the tours. We were one of the last tours that she will be doing in Savannah, but it was underground Savannah tours. And this woman is absolutely phenomenal. And she gave us a song that just reminded me of freedom and told the story of freedom. So it's a little long, but I wanted to inspire you all before we talk about what freedom tastes like, okay? So I'm going to share my screen one last time. And you're gonna watch Mama Pat. Again, bear with me. All right, here she is.
The hernia. Isn't that smart? Anyway, the master probably was on the front porch saying, oh, they are so nice. Look at them. They're just singing so happy. No, sir. They're singing so they can breathe. And so this is a 1790 work camp song. It's called Be So Glad When the Sun Goes Down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. I won't lie down when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. Liberian women, because they were the ones that came from the Geechee tribe, which is Gullah Geechee. They were the best cooks, and they were prayer warriors. And they were the ones that came up with this famous song called Kumbaya. Kumbaya means come back here, Lord, come back here. So maybe they prayed in here as they were waiting to be sold. They're standing next to another woman with another language they can't communicate, but through music you can sing. And so maybe they prayed and they sang like this. Kumbaya, Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, come back. Kumbaya.
Okay, we had a little technical difficulty. I'm gonna try that again because she is absolutely powerful. All right. Sorry, everyone. Give me one sec.
The hernia. Isn't that smart? Anyway, the master probably was on the front porch saying, oh, they are so nice. Look at them. They're just singing so happy. No, sir. They're singing so they can breathe. And so this is a 1790 work camp song. It's called Be So Glad When the Sun Goes Down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. I be so glad when the sun goes down, when the sun goes down. I be so glad when the sun goes down. Out on my down. When the sun goes down, when the sun goes down, when the sun goes down. And I can't leave out the Liberian women because they were the ones that came from the Geechee tribe, which is Gullah Geechee. They were the best cooks and they were prayer warriors. And they were the ones that came up with this famous song called Kumbaya. Kumbaya means come back here, Lord, come back here. So maybe they prayed in here as they were waiting to be sold. They're standing next to another woman with another language they can't communicate, but through music you can sing. And so maybe they prayed and they sang like this. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, come back. Kumbaya. John was a blacksmith on the Georgia plantation in Atchison County where my great-grandma was. John was a blacksmith, and the only people that were allowed to read, write, and count were the blacksmiths and the preachers. You have to know that you would lose your life if you learn how to read, write, and count. So when my daddy, born in 1910, said to us, education is empowerment, he meant that. And so John was proud that he could read, write, and count. And John began to tell him that, look here, there's some kind of train on the plantation day that's coming into the city here, and it's picking people up and they're taking them out of here. The people just disappearing. Now, when I find out for true about this train, I'm getting on it. So don't be looking for me here all the time, because I'm gonna be gone. They said, John, you can't go nowhere, man. He said, why I can't go? He said, you forgot you got a wife and three turned down the road there, the other plantation? John said, no, I ain't forgot about my wife and my family. I just got me another newborn baby. I have 3 man in here, soon. I'm gonna pay the money to answer them. But look here, I want you to know that they say that there's a conductor on this here train, and her name is Harriet. And they say she got some kind of tea in her right pocket, the apron pocket, that she can give to a baby and make the baby sleep for 3 days. So I'm gonna take my wife and turn everybody we getting on that train. Now y'all can get on the train too, pay attention, and if you got enough courage and faith. So I'm gonna send some kind of message to town to let y'all know about the mapping, and then y'all be ready now. So sure enough, he sent a map in the midst of a plantation quilt. It was pretty rags sewn together in cotton and all, but what y'all don't know is the women that were in collusion with the abolitionists, those are the free whites around here, and these white folks helped us. They were abolitionists. They took their own lives in their hand. There are abolitionist lynchings at Wright Square from them helping, so God bless, may they rest in peace. I want you to know that they gave the instruction to the women to stitch the map into the plantation, and in the center of that map was a live oak tree, and above the live oak tree was a full moon, and then stitched down to the bottom was the moss, the Spanish moss from the trees around here. They had to push it close to the east, so that means that's the direction that you would go. And then there was a man there in that quilt, and a boat, and a man on the other side. So as you worked around here, from sunrise to sunset, from Kansas to Kansas, you wasn't worried about a thing, because you knew that that train was coming here, and it was already in the map. So you wasn't talking.
All right, y'all. That is the beautiful, 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 powerful Mama Pat son. And I just really, it's a little long, but I really wanted to have her voice as a part of this conversation around freedom. Every word that she said, it just resonated in my spirit as I stood there, taking it all in, and then my mind was just on freedom. My mind was on how to move our people forward, how to move us as humanity forward. And she really inspired that. So before we start this conversation, what our freedom tastes like as we go back into our rooms, we'll complete this. It is 8:17, so we want to make sure that we get this in this last stanza. So, Kinyofu, we are ready when you are.
Okay, so same rooms, however, some people dropped and returned or joined, and so I just put them in rooms where will create some kind of balance. So I have rooms of 4 and rooms of 5. You might see the same people, you might see different people. And 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
5 minutes has to be used efficiently, folks.
Yeah, it goes so quickly, so thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Okay, good. So we have in our room, okay, so we have Laura and Cassie. Awesome. All right, thanks, Laura. You ready to go? Go on.
Oh my gosh, so much came up for me with this. But what does freedom taste like? And I want to go back to escovitch fish and bami, because that was a food that could last. It didn't need to be refrigerated. And it was a food that many women at the seaside used to make a living, selling fried fish and bami to tourists and anyone. What came up for me also is what we call ackee and saltfish. Any food that didn't need to be refrigerated and that we really survived on. Callaloo was a bush that grew up naturally from in the woods. It was Dr. Sabi would tell you, one of the food that just grew naturally. So those are some of the foods that we grew up on, natural foods, the breadfruits, just natural yams, all natural foods was what came up. But I just want to say quickly, another thing that came up for me is the word kumbaya. It brought me back to Jamaican patois, where we would say, come here, boy, which means come here, just like how kumbaya meant come by here. And it just brought fun memories of our Jamaican patois and the connection with Mother Africa. With that, I'm complete. Thank you.
That's right. Sorry, my dog busted in my room, so I'm trying to keep her from going crazy in here. That was beautiful. And I love, I know we don't have a lot of time, but that's just salting the food to preserve it because out of condition is dope. Thank you so much for that share. Right. Anyone else?
I'll share. So our freedom tastes like, for me, fried catfish and collard greens. You know, when I think about how we're so resourceful and we're so creative, there's nothing like the taste of catfish made by the hands of Black folk. Just, I see, once again, being with my family, fishing, bringing the fish home, scaling the fish, cutting them, gutting them, cutting them open, seasoning the fish. And I can see the oil in the pot like bubbling and then dropping the fish in and then eating that. And then the collards, just cleaning it up, making sure they debugged it and like the bigness of it, and then how it would be cooked down to the smaller thing that was just exquisite. And while I don't eat the collards like they were made by the family, because I don't eat meat like that, it's a staple that's always part of the meals, especially like Sunday dinners or Thanksgiving. And I miss that my grandmother would cook like that, but collards would always be part of the conversation, always be in the pot, always be in the atmosphere as far as the smells. And it's a process. I remember my grandmother going in on somebody who cooked collards and the little bugs were still in there. And just like tearing them up verbally, like, what the F? So, and shoot, I forgot, and cornbread. I can't leave that out. So fish, fried fish, collards, and cornbread, like that by itself is just home. It's like home to me. So that's my share.
Ashe, thank you. Cassie, you want to share?
Blessings. I'm here. I love food. My husband was laughing. I love food. But for me, freedom tastes like what you can grow in your yard. Like I am growing sweet potatoes. Ooh, no, not my face. Collard greens, things that I can grow in my yard. Onions, ginger. So that's some of the stuff I have in my backyard. So I am complete.
That's right. And Coach Kenyoko, we have time.
Well, I just got the message to keep the rooms open or not, and the last time I closed them and there was enough time, so should I keep it?
Well, I think it's 4:23, so we probably should close them. But did you want to say really quickly what your freedom tastes like?
Yeah, it's cooking family meals, the whole energy around everybody pitching in to make something and then getting the dinner table ready. Digging in after prayers.
So thank you. All right. Everyone is back.
They're on their way.
All right. Welcome back to the space. Welcome back to the main space. And as you're coming in, I'm going to ask Coach Kenyoko if we can go in the opposite direction so that everyone gets to share those rooms that didn't get to share before.
Okay. So I'll start with the main room then. Who wants to synthesize?
Coach Shawnee, could you hook us up? We didn't even decide who's going to speak out, but but I will add, because I didn't get to add, I will say collard greens definitely remind me of what tastes like freedom, collard greens, because my family in North Carolina and what I've seen in the South, just growing them collards, is acres of, just land. My uncle in Atlanta also showing off his collards in the backyard, just freedom, just growing your own thing. So that's what freedom tastes like to me.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
And Laura will fill in the gap if I mess this up, but what was resonating with me was just in her country, folks by making a way and manifesting abundance in the form of money by selling saltfish, things that were sustainable, that could hold up because they were cured. And I'm using that word, she didn't. So they could be sustained and then used to generate for the family. And Laura, you can say the other. I heard saltfish, but I also heard you say two other things.
Ackee and saltfish, which is a national dish also.
Yes. I love ackee and saltfish. And I said collard greens, cornbread, and fried fish. It feels like freedom to me, and just like making stuff from scratch and bringing things that are now like fishing and getting your fish from the actual waters, fresh, not from the store, and using those fresh ingredients to create powerful cuisine that nourishes the body. And then Kenyoko said any family meals, and that process of making them, and that's her experience of freedom for her and her clan. I think I covered everything. I'm complete.
So thank you.
All right. So room 5, Aliyah, Sister, and Zuhura are left. Who's going to share? I'm gonna call on somebody. Aaliyah.
I could share. I can't really remember exactly what everyone said, but I said that freedom smells like, to me, a linen, freshly laundered linen, that's clean sheet smell, and it tastes like ice cream to me, and it feels like me being able to control my own destiny. So Aaliyah, she was saying, I can't remember. You know, I have a memory loss problem.
Okay.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, I was saying okra. Okra. It tastes like freedom in the sense that it's peaceful, smooth, and strong.
Thank you for that, Aaliyah. Hey, Aaliyah.
And I believe sister, she mentioned bag juice, which brought me back beautiful memories. I forgot the other one, but the bag juice icy.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right. And Jacqueline, your hand is up. Is that because you're representing your room when I get there? I'm not there
I'd
yet.
like to. I'm in a new room, so yeah.
All right, so I didn't get there yet, so hold on. Room 4 is Abimbola, Sweetness, Robin, and Teresa. Abimbola?
No, Sweetness wrote everything down. Go ahead, Sweetness.
Right.
So it smells like open air. Freedom tastes like watermelon, jasmine rice pudding. Some in the group identified freedom with living in the country with flowers and trees. Freedom feels like having a choice to choose. Freedom tastes like cooking with mama. Someone in the group enjoyed mama's cooking and cooking with mama and equated freedom with that. It looks like walking equally with all. That's what I wrote down. That's what came out of our group today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And if y'all can think of one succinct sentence by that prompt, just throw it in the chat. But that was beautiful. Thank you so much. And can you open the next one, next group?
Okay. Room 3 is Inez, Jacqueline, Jasmine, Veronica, and you're on, Jacqueline.
We came to the conclusion that our freedom tastes like ready-to-eat fruit hanging from the vine.
Okay. That's right. Oh,
and I'm complete.
Thank you.
Thank you. So room 2 is Adam, Afriye, Louise, and Theodora. Raise your hand if you're going to represent, and I'm going to go to room 1 and ask the same. So from room 1, Mama Mal, Sabrina, Stacy, Teresa, and Zakia. Raise your hand. One person raise your hand to represent. So we got room 1. How about room 2? Room 2, Adam. Okay, I'm putting you on.
Adam.
Okay. In the breakout room, I explained that my freedom tastes like having authority over what I make in terms of the food, whether it be meat, fruits, vegetables, even bread or dairy. And when you have that authority over what you make, you don't have to worry about somebody else making it for you and somebody else, getting you sick in the process. That's what freedom tastes like for me.
Okay.
And also, when you have authority over your own food, you can create an abundance of freedom for you and your whole family and generations that's coming up under you as well. So my freedom tastes like authority, which creates freedom, and I'm complete.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Those are all of the rooms, right, Coach?
No, just one more.
Oh, okay.
Number one, we're number one. Anyway. So the consensus of the group was watermelon. Nice, sweet, succulent watermelon. And then in the beginning, I was dealing with just the taste. So I said chocolate cake, 3 layers, chocolate all through the inside, chocolate and then pecans on the top. So we said, okay, chocolate and watermelon. Okay. That was our consensus. And the watermelon piece was because some of our folks talked about their people in their lives saying, I don't eat watermelon in front of white people because it's a stereotype. And yeah, well, that means there's more for me kind of conversation. So, that's for the watermelon. That chocolate cake was just on me, all right? And I agree.
I say, thank you for that. That was awesome. I love watermelon. I don't care. I have no shame in my game. I don't care. But it's amazing.
One share I want to bring in Facebook. Noel says, our freedom tastes like mac and cheese and rice and peas.
I say. Yeah, everybody's gonna be running to the kitchen when we end. So I will definitely wrap this up. It is 8:52, and y'all have been I'm sorry, 8:32. Am I saying? Y'all have been absolutely amazing. This conversation is just the beginning. I think we should have another. We should definitely have more conversations around this docuseries. There's more to uncover. I didn't even get to all of the episodes. Just because we got so just deep in convo and memories coming up. I kind of figured that's where when we invited ancestors in, they were gonna come show up and show out and take over the conversation. So I'm glad that we were able to hug them and remember them through meal and through our conversation around food tradition. So we will wrap up today, but I want to just encourage you all to, like Coach Shawnee said, missing that, having conversations around the table, passing on traditions. Like I said, just passing on recipe books that, folks go and that stuff goes with them, right? Just how do we keep this alive? How do we pass this information on? That journey that I went on down to South Carolina, to see, to visit with my ancestors, I wish I had done that with my dad years ago. I wouldn't have to, play detective going around to all these places, but I'm gonna make sure that my kids have the map, and that I take them there and that they know and they walk those roads so that they don't have to continue to wonder. So thank you all so much for this powerful, powerful conversation. This Wu Nation is just growing. And so with that, thank you, Coach Kenyofu. We will talk about our special offer. So we do have a special offer. Some of you know, some of you do not know, but my husband, Coach Allende, and I have started a travel collective, and it actually is a rites of passage journey. We discovered during Coach Shawnee and Kamal's conversation a couple weeks back. We believe that this is a rites of passage journey. So we have a new schedule of trips coming up for 2022. So stay aware of what's going on. You can find us. You can find information on my website. You'll see in the next screen. But if you are going to come on our trip and you're interested, we do offer $50 off for the Wu Nation. So you would just have to email me, and again on the next screen with the subject Wu Nation, and we will get that going for you. Next year we will be going back to this Gullah Geechee. We'll be going to New Orleans. We'll also be going to Cuba and ending the year in Senegal. So we have a full trip, full schedule of trips for next year. So again, look forward to that information. And next slide. Awesome. It's all my contact information. So call me. You can hit me up on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can see my email and my website as well. And we can, thank you. Next slide. All right, love offerings and donations. Yes, so if you are going to make a contribution today for today's session, please support. We definitely want to support our admin who works so hard putting this all together. And we also, all of the funds that we receive, we are going to put into a pot to help families travel with their children. So, you know, it's an additional expense, right? When we want to bring children along, but we believe as the Allende Travel Collective, it's very important for us to bring our children on these trips. So we want to help to support families in bringing their children along as well. So all of our donations go to support that. Awesome.
Don't forget to use the code 468.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
468 CMCG.
Oh. All right, and next up, we have, why my screen? Next up we have tomorrow is Sister Joy Rachel, and she is talking about harnessing sacred feminine energy to support the divine masculine in yourself and in relationships. That sounds really juicy. And then Brother Brandon Smith, who is on today with us, he is going to be presenting on Rise and Shine, Give a Gift to the World. Right. And again, I love y'all.
Catherine, give the world a gift. Well, same thing, but the world.
Thank you. I need my glasses on. Give the world a gift. I appreciate it. So check out Brother Brandon, Sister Joy. I know you Woo Nation, y'all are just totally dedicated. So, and if you're new to Woo, make sure you come back on board.
Yeah,
right.
we want to know that you're new though. Don't just be new and hide. So come out, step out, put your name, the comment in the section that I'm new. Put it in the Zoom chat, put it in the Facebook comment section, and then let us welcome you. You will be welcome. You are not alone, and we want you to keep coming back.
Yeah.
We have an anthology that we're creating November 30th. That's today. This is the deadline to get your story heard. But you know that we have a questionnaire that will begin that process. So we're not asking you to write the story today, but we're asking you to fill out the questions that will help you to remember some of the story that you have. There's 10 questions. The link is bit.ly/Woo Stories. And when you complete it, at some point in the near future, you will be responded to, asked more questions, and then you will begin your writing, and we will launch next year, March 29th. So be a part of the anthology. You could be new and then share your anthology because of the experience today and talking about these wonderful foods and ancestors and traditions. And of course, if you were here early on, you have lots more stories to share. We're here every day, well, 5 days a week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, our long days from 7 to 8:30, and Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 7:30, always Zoom live, as well as streaming live on Facebook. If you want to receive the text messages to wake you up in the morning to say, hey, get in here, then you can do that right now by opening up a text and type in the number as a telephone number, 74121. And in the comment section, type Woo Nation, press enter, and you will be in the automated alert system. We have swag. You can get your swag at bit.ly/Woo Swag, t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, thermoses, masks, and all the colors that you can ever imagine. Get your swag today. And stay in touch. We're gonna need you to register. you go to bit.ly/wake up movement. And this will give you the link to join us. It'll also give you who's coming up next and what they're talking about. And if someone gave you the link to join into Zoom, you definitely want to go here, the official bit.ly/wake up movement. And we have Facebook pages. We have a Facebook private page and a public page, and this is the public page. Am I right? bit.ly/Woo Community. The public page, you want to go there and press like so that you can get notified when we go live. And the link is not here, but the private page is bit.ly/Woo Nation, and that's all uppercase. Woo Nation is uppercase. And you would need to join, and we will accept your request. We're on Instagram and YouTube, and if you want to reach out to us via email, then you can go to info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So I'm going to drop the slide, and then I'm going to ask you all to unmute, and we can share a wonderful, delicious presentation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, Catherine, for this great presentation.
Great session. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the walk
you,
down memory
Catherine.
lane. Food.
This
Thank
was so
you. That's
amazing,
beautiful.
Sister Catherine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Grandma,
Peace
all
and
our
blessings.
family.
Thank you all.
Very nice. Very
Wonderful
nice.
session.
Sharing a
Thank
message
you.
to those around.
Let's move forward, everybody. You have a blessed day.
Catherine, we got to talk
Stay
about
creative,
And
stay
the
powerful.
church. Yeah.
beautiful, y'all. This is so
Praise God.
beautiful. Thank you for having us. This is beautiful. Love y'all. Appreciate it. We are family.
Somebody's on the phone.
We are family, y'all. We are family.
Love you all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.